Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Calling the roll, Ms. Conwell. Ms. Conwell is absent this evening. Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones is absent at the moment. Ms. Brown?
Here.
Ms. Stevens?
Present.
Ms. Simon? Ms. Baker?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Tuma? Here. Mr. Gallagher?
Here.
Mr. Schron? Mr. Schron is absent this evening. And Council President Brady?
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right. Could I have a motion to excuse Councilwoman Conwell and Schron?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Members are excused. Pledge of Allegiance. Madam Clerk, is there any public comment?
Yes, Mr. President, there is Ms. Marcia Goldberg.
Totally different subject than 2 weeks ago. Today I'm speaking on behalf of the League of Women Voters of Greater Cleveland regarding the council resolution on first reading today that would place a charter amendment on November's ballot to change the position of county sheriff from an appointed to an elected office. While we understand council's anger, frustration, and impatience over the deaths at the jail and the jail's deplorable conditions and staffing problems, calling for voters to elect a sheriff appears to us to be a knee-jerk and emotional reaction. Think the process through. A political party would select a nominee, or maybe two political parties would each select a nominee. Nominees would undoubtedly have name recognition and the ability to raise money. Following a primary with or without competition, one of the nominees backed by a party would go on to be reelected every 4 years without competitive opposition. We could very quickly return to the old days, creating a political fiefdom with patronage over which the county administration would have no control. The sheriff's huge team of employees are currently subject to civil service and ethics requirements. That has to continue. And the best way to make sure is to safeguard this office from politics. We would like to see this resolution die right now. But if it moves on to committee examination and further readings, we will keep close tabs on it and will more thoroughly explain our objections. Thank you.
Mr. Mike Seals?
Hello, Council. My name is Mike Seals, and I represent the committee to elect the county sheriff by the Cuyahoga County voters. I've been here 2 times, first time in January, asking that you put it on the November election, the November ballot this year, 2019. Today, I want to congratulate you for considering putting it on the 2019 ballot so that the voters can decide whether they want to elect a sheriff or not. Thank you.
Final speaker is Ms. Liu.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I know sometimes we like to have a change of pace, so the meeting will be more exciting, right? Unfortunately, I will follow these 2 people's suit saying about something about appointing and electing. However, I'm now talking about the sheriff. I'm talking about the person in charge of Office of Homeless Service. The society has collectively produced lots of homeless people, right? But the society don't really have energy, resources, and time to care about homeless people. So basically, homeless people are left alone. And all the blames can still go to homeless people very easily. Just like what we have seen happening in county jail. All these things happen in homeless shelter and some other similar places. So maybe we should just let the homeless people to elect somebody to be in charge of the so-called homeless service. Maybe that will do us something good. Just give you an example. In the past winter, I came here, I did tell you about what happened on Martin Luther King days about myself. But do you know, instead of having lots of people suffering from pneumonia, this past winter we have lots of people having stroke or heart attack. Guess what? They are still in the shelter because there's no facilities the caseworker can confine them to move them to. No nursing home or no other facilities with cardiac programs, just for example. So maybe this is the time we will help the county to help ourselves, to take the situation into our hands. We decide what to do. Yes, we know funding will be limited, just like before, but we will show people that homeless people are just like any other people. Not really stupid, uneducated, yes, suffering from health issues, doesn't matter physical or mental. But homeless really is not really what they want, to be homeless people for a long time or even for generations. But the poverty has to be changed. So think about that idea. If we can ask these people, if you don't really care, how about just let homeless people to elect somebody to take charge of improving their situation, if you don't care about them. Is this a community we want to continue? I don't think that's the best interest. And I think all county council members understand that. But we do need a real improvement. Having service providers to take charge is not a solution. Thank you very much.
Let the, is there
Mr. President,
any
we
more?
have one more
Oh, I'm
last-minute
sorry.
request. I
Okay.
apologize. Mr. Will Tarter.
Okay.
No, please take your time. Oh, yes, of course. Please. No, take your time. All right, appreciate it. That's important. All right, thank you, Council President Brady, Vice President Jones, and members of Council, County Executive Budish. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak today. No prepared remarks in this meeting and no low-tech posters, but I do want to first appreciate the council and the Office of Budget Management and the administration for providing some of the answers on the bond issuance related to Gateway. I did have some questions at the last meeting, so I want to appreciate the opportunity to get those answers. Now that the vote is taking place at the committee meeting and is going to be on the agenda tonight, I want to kind of just put a couple of thoughts in the council's hearing and the administration's hearing while I have the opportunity. One is just as a follow-up option, a follow-up opportunity is to identify what the term reasonable in the reimbursement looks like. What's a reasonable time frame? I still think that's an unanswered question. When the teams submit reimbursement, when Gateway submits reimbursement, what is a reasonable time frame for the county to make those reimbursements? If there's a specific timetable that's out there, that could be really helpful. If the county has the money, they can allocate it right away, or if there is alternative sources that need to be found, then everyone is on the same page in terms of when those reimbursements need to be made. So I would love to see some definition on the term reasonable. And I secondly want to reiterate my concern in the long-term planning conversations around the stadium maintenance. I've talked about the bonds, I've talked about the impact of the principal and the interest and the allocation, but just the long-term vision. When we know things are going to come up, the facilities are aging, the costs are only going to increase, the value of the dollars coming in are only going to decrease. Having some sort of long-term plan instead of reacting to the reimbursements as they come up is something I think would be in the best interest of taxpayers, best interest of the administration, the council, the teams, Gateway. I think everyone would benefit from having this conversation, a community conversation on what the long-term plan is going to be moving forward. And I appreciate the opportunity to present those thoughts and look forward to following up in the future. Thank you, Council President.
Is that good?
We're good.
All right. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the, printed on the agenda for May the 18th? May the 28th, 2019 Committee of the Whole, and May 28th, 2019 regular meeting. Been first and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the minutes have been approved. And is there a message from the county executive?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Just hours ago, the State Senate introduced their version of the state budget. And while it's difficult to read the budget as it comes out, and they haven't had a lot of time, some analyses are already coming out, so let me just give you a couple of high points. First, while the State House had previously passed a budget with $100 million in tax cuts, the Senate increased the tax cuts to more than $600 million. So if you were wondering what the state's going to be doing with the increased revenues that have been projected, now we know. Number two, the Senate adds money for drug addiction treatment, teenage suicide prevention, and food banks. Third, the Senate restores the $40 million film tax credit that the House had eliminated. And fourth, while the House had added $625 million for wraparound services for students like mental health treatment and after-school programming, the Senate reduced that by $75 million to $550 million. The House and Senate versions, as you well know, will go to conference committee next, and the final version is to be done by the end of this month. And the final results will clearly have a major impact on our budget, so we're following it closely. Thank you.
Thank you. Legislation introduced by council, consideration of a resolution of council for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution number 2019-0133, providing for the appointment of Brendan R. Doyle as special counsel to serve the Council of Cuyahoga County and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. Resolution is adopted. Consideration of a resolution of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2019-0134, providing for the submission to the electors of the County of Cuyahoga an amendment to repeal Section 5.08 and enact Article 16 of the county charter, providing for the election of the sheriff, including the powers, duties, qualifications, and compensation of the office.
This will be referred to the committee of the whole. Legislation introduced by the executive, consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2019-0135, confirming the county executive's appointment of Anthony G. Taverell to serve on the Cuyahoga County Community Improvement Corporation Board of Trustees for an unexpired term ending January 1, 2022.
This will be referred to HR and appointments.
Resolution number 2019-0136, confirming the county executive's appointment or reappointment of various individuals to serve on the City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County Workforce Development Board for various terms as printed on the agenda.
This will also be referred to HR.
Resolution number 2019-0137, making an award on requisition number 45246 to Fabrizi Recycling Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $7,347,866.50 for reconstruction and widening of Sprague Road from Webster Road to West 130th Street in the cities of Middleburg Heights, North Royalton, Parma, and Strongsville, authorizing the county engineer on behalf of the county executive to make an application for allocation from county motor vehicle $7.50 license tax funds in the amount of $2,152,924.88 to fund a portion of said contract.
This will be referred to Public Works.
Resolution number 2019-0138, adopting the annual alternative tax budget for the year 2020.
This will be referred to Finance and Budgeting Committee.
Resolution number 2019-0139, adopting the 2019 Economic Development Plan in accordance with Section 7.05 of the Cuyahoga County Charter and Section 801.01 of the Cuyahoga County Code.
And this will be referred to Economic Development.
Resolution number 2019-0140, making awards on requisition number 44122 to various providers for a comprehensive case management and employment program, employment education and training services for young adults in connection with the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act for the period July 1, 2019 through June 30, 2021 to the providers in the amounts not to exceed and for the programs as printed on the agenda.
This will be referred to Education.
Resolution number 2019-0141, making awards on requisition number 44417 to various providers for various services in connection with the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act for various time periods beginning July 1, 2019, with the providers in the amount not to exceed and for the services as printed on the agenda.
This will also be referred to Education. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
I'll second it. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The rules have been suspended.
Resolution number 2019-0115, confirming the county executive's appointment of Alan Davies to serve on the Cuyahoga County Public Library Board of Trustees for an unexpired term ending March 31, 2022.
Council President, the candidate came before the Human Resource Appointment and Equity Committee and demonstrated their ability to serve in this capacity, and the director of the library, Sari Feldman, was also supportive of this recommendation, so I respectfully request my colleagues' support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0116, confirming the county executive's reappointment of various individuals to serve on the Cuyahoga County Community Improvement Corporation Board of Trustees for the term January 2nd, 2019 through January 1, 2022, as printed on the agenda.
Second.
Council President, the individuals listed, Mr. Hall was unable to attend, but Mr. Michael Obey was present. They're both reappointments, and according to our very own Mr. Khalil Sirin, he respectfully supported the reappointment of Mr. Brian Hall, and so I respectfully request my colleagues' support.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0117, confirming the county executive's reappointment of A. Stephen Dever to serve in his official capacity as representative of Cuyahoga County on the Lake Erie Energy Development Corporation Board of Directors for the term May 1, 2019 through April 30, 2021.
Second.
Council President, Mr. Dever came before the committee and demonstrated a wealth of knowledge, as he is the sole representative for Cuyahoga County in dealing with a number of obstacles as it relates to the wind project. And I think it is in the best interest of the county to support the recommendation, so much so that I requested to have my name added to this particular resolution along with Councilman Jones and Miller. So I respectfully request the colleagues' support.
All right. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0125, providing for the issuance and sale of taxable general obligation bonds in a maximum aggregate principal amount of $40 million to advance refund all of the county's outstanding excise tax revenue bonds, Series 2015, originally issued for the purpose of paying the costs of constructing, renovating, improving, or repairing sports facilities, including specifically major capital repairs to such sports facilities, and reimbursing the county for costs incurred by the county in connection with such construction, renovation, improvement, or repairs, to pay capitalized interest on the bonds, and to fund a reserve fund and to pay the cost of issuance in connection therewith. Council President Brady, this item was pending committee recommendation, and it has received that recommendation to move forward this evening.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, if I may, I'd like to speak to this one and the next one at the same time.
All righty.
This resolution provides for the refunding of our existing bonds on revenue from the excise tax, commonly known as sin tax, in the principal amount of $40 million. Market conditions are favorable at this time, and the refunding will provide savings of about $1.5 million per year for a total of $12 million over the remaining life of the bonds. The second resolution authorizes the issuance of general obligation bonds in the principal amount of $40.5 million backed by the excise tax to pay for the county's contractually obligated repairs to the arena. There is some concern that this issuance will require almost all excise proceeds that have been designated for the arena. However, we received assurance at the Committee of the Whole that the combination of the renovation project plus these repairs will account for all major expenses required at the arena for an extended time. Yes, we could save money by paying for these repairs over time as revenue from the excise tax come in. However, there is no legal basis for making the Cavaliers wait at length for reimbursement on repairs that have mostly already been made and are contractually our responsibility. Both resolutions were heard twice at the Committee of the Whole and were unanimously recommended at today's meeting for passage under second reading suspension.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0126, providing for the issuance and sale of general obligation bonds and a maximum aggregate principal amount of $40,500,000 to provide funds for the purpose of paying the costs of constructing, renovating, improving, or repairing sports facilities, including specifically major capital repairs to such sports facilities, and reimbursing the county for costs incurred by the county in connection with such construction, renovation, improvement, or repairs of sports facilities, together with all necessary appurtenances and work incidental thereto, to pay capital interest on the bonds and to pay the costs of issuance in connection therewith. Mr. President, this item was also pending committee recommendation, and it did receive that recommendation to move forward this evening.
Move to adopt.
It's been moved and seconded, and Councilman Miller has spoken to the issue. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0131, making an award on requisition number 45102 to Kokosing Construction Company Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $1,127,097.49 for resurfacing Mastic Road from the Fairview Park West Corporation Line to Eaton Road in the city of Fairview Park in connection with the 2019 Operations Resurfacing Program, authorizing the county engineer on behalf of the county executive to make an application for allocation from county motor vehicle $7.50 license tax funds in the amount of $450,839 to fund a portion of said contract.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this matter was before Public Works Committee last week, and it's for the resurfacing of Mastic Road in Fairview Park. And Public Works requested that this project get moving along so they can begin work on it this summer. So I'm asking for support on this on second reading suspension.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0132, making awards on requisition number 43377 to AT&T Corporation in the total amount not to exceed $2,157,000 for various services for the period January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2023 for the services and in the amounts not to exceed as printed on the agenda.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution approves a 5-year contract with AT&T for $2,157,000 for telephone service on lines for which we are not able to use the voice over internet protocol. This resolution was unanimously recommended for passage on second reading suspension at the most recent meeting of the Finance and Budgeting Committee.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2019-0120, making awards on requisition number 42131 to various providers, each in the amount not to exceed $400,000 for general engineering services for the period June 12, 2019 through June 11, 2022. The providers are listed on the agenda.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And Mr. President, this matter came before the Public Works Committee on Wednesday, May 22nd, 2019, and Ms. English explained this. Again, this is just for general engineering contracts. It's based on, scored on qualifications. It met the diversity goals used for smaller projects, and we're just looking to move this project along as well, so.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0121, making awards on requisition number 43995 to various providers, each in the amount not to exceed $300,000 for construction management support services for the period June 12, 2019 through June 11, 2022, with the providers as printed on the agenda.
Motion to adopt. And, Mr. President, with respect to this resolution, this also came before the Public Works on May 22nd, and this was a management support services which supplements our in-house construction and ranked on RFQ and quality-based selections, and it met all diversity goals as well. So we're looking to move this legislation along as well.
Favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted. Miscellaneous committee reports.
We will not be holding a Operations, Governmental Relations, and Public Transportation next week. The relative language that we were deliberating has been withdrawn by the administration.
Mr. President, my colleagues, Finance and Budgeting Committee will next meet on Monday, July the 1st at 1 p.m. for a presentation on blockchain, an update on the accounting of ERP costs from budget and management, and the resolution that was referred to us today.
Thank you.
Public Works will meet next Wednesday, June 19th, at its regularly scheduled time.
If safety members would hold tight, I'm trying to get the new jail supervisors to come in and introduce themselves, and there are some other items for discussion.
The Community Development Committee meeting will take place Monday at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Human Resources Appointment and Equity will take place at its regularly scheduled time of June, 16th at 10 a.m. for the two items referred, June 18th.
Education, Environment, Sustainability will meet regularly scheduled time, Wednesday, June 19th at 3 p.m. to hear the items referred today, as well as an update on the tree canopy.
Any miscellaneous business?
Mr. President,
Councilman Miller.
my colleagues, I just want to bring to everybody's attention that since the first week of April, the number of inmates at the county jail downtown has increased from 1954 to 2114, an increase of 170. I hear that there is some seasonality to this, but I still find the large increase disturbing. This is the essential problem, and the sheriff has relatively little control over it. We need to end cash bail, and we need to get the mentally ill and the addicted diverted into treatment. If we properly manage the population, we can fix the rest of the problems. It's very important that we just give more attention to everybody working together. All the players have to really get together and move quickly to deal with the population crisis. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else got anything on their mind? Probably, but not to talk about it? Okay. Well, if there's no further business before this committee this evening, we are adjourned.